Yo, what it do, fool? It's your boy the Token Otaku coming at you again with another manga slash manhwa review. If you enjoy the video, please leave your boy a like and a subscribe. And without further ado, let's get into it. The chapter begins with Ian running through a hallway before entering his brother Jurian's office to tell him about Ji-Woo's victory over Duke. Jurian seems uninterested as Ian keeps talking, saying that Duke hasn't been Schnauder's disciple for a long time, so it doesn't mean much, as well as claiming that his real disciple is Royst. Ian finishes by asking his brother who he thinks Ji-Woo will fight next. Jurian then tells his brother that he doesn't have time to talk to him about this right now, and Ian apologizes for interrupting before leaving the room. Jurian then thinks about how the last time he saw Ji-Woo, there was no way he could have defeated Duke, who he considers comparable in strength to his brother Ian, especially if Duke had used Eclipsed. He is angered because he can't figure out how Ji-Woo has continued to grow so rapidly. The chapter then cuts to Ji-Woo's house, where he is recovering in the basement as Caden, Cartian, and Pluton come down and inquire about how he's doing. Ji-Woo responds saying that he's better, but it will take more time for him to fully recover. Cartian says that Ji-Woo's healing abilities have improved, before Caden asks Ji-Woo how he felt about the fight, and he responds that it was different from all the sparring he's done in the past because it was more intense. Caden remarks that that is how awakened battles usually are, where every move is made with the intent to take down or kill their opponent, and that Ji-Woo must never lose his focus during a battle. Ji-Woo then asks about how Duke became suddenly stronger during their fight, and Cartian explains that Duke took Eclipse. He continues by saying that for a long time Awakeners have done anything to gain more power, and that they have even used humans as test subjects, and that Eclipse is a result of one of those experiments. He explains that it gives the temporary boost, but with severe side effects that include death. He finishes by saying that it has been banned, but it seems like that people have still been researching it due to the effects of the drug being stronger. Ji-Woo is told to never use Eclipse due to its side effects, and he agrees, before Blue then comes down and tells Ji-Woo that Ji-Young is there to see him. Outside, Ji-Young asks about how Ji-Woo is, and congratulates him on his victory over one of the top 10's disciples, before he thanks her for all the help she gave him in preparing for the fight. She attempts to say that that is just what anyone would have done in that position, before Ji-Woo then tells her that everything that she did was very helpful in the fight, and that she even mimicked some attack patterns that popped up during the battle. Ji-Woo then tells her how Cartian and Pluton said it was impressive how she mimicked Severance without ever seeing it, and he then proceeds to inquire about how Arthur is doing because he hasn't answered his calls. Ji-Young then tells him that Arthur has been pushed out of the successor position of the Bryan family. The chapter then jumps to an office where Arthur is being told he has to remove his name from all Bryan family businesses, and that he needs to step back from the family due to all of the changes that are happening within Awakened society, and that with him in the successor position, the family could not stand together strongly. He decides to accept the position before heading out of the room. He is then met by 3 new members of the Bryant family who assure him they will take care of all the businesses he was managing before heading in to speak to the family head about an important event. The chapter ends with a shot of Arthur Bryant's face. And with that, that's the end of the chapter, ladies and gents. Um, Not a whole lot happening in this chapter as far as story progression. I'd say the most big story progression type thing that happened in this chapter is finding out that there's some changes going on within the Bryan family, and that the other associations are like probably planning to make their moves. But besides that, the chapter seems to be a lot of the information disseminating through the world and everybody reacting to Jiwoo's victory over Duke, um, such as Ian and Jurian finding out about it, and then Jiwoo finding out about Eclipse and how it works and the effects of it and all of that, which we all found out about last chapter. So it was a little bit of reiteration of something that we just learned out about ourselves, and the adding of the fact that they used human experimentation to get there is kind of obvious. Um, I'd say, as far as like thoughts for the future and things like that, because not really a whole lot of thoughts on what was spoken about in the chapter. Jiwoo's healing abilities gotten stronger. It's obvious that that was going to happen. He's been training it pretty much consistently since he got that ability. Um, Obviously, Jurian was going to be upset about the victory because my guy's a hater and is so whipped that he's willing to try to kill a guy because a girl doesn't want him. Um, yeah, I'd say mostly what I'm looking forward to is probably the battles between associations now, because now hopefully we're going to start to see more people with hopefully different types of force control or different ways of using their force controls with the same abilities. So maybe we'll see some, kind of akin to how Fire Force works, where like a bunch of people have technically the same type of abilities, but how they manifest and use them changes. Although not a lot of that has really been seen throughout the story. I guess it has though, because you know, the Yu family with their wind abilities, they all have it, but we've seen many different applications of how they use the wind to either speed themselves up or to make attacks or defend or, everything that has happened through the story. So hopefully there's going to be a lot of innovation as far as the powers go. Um, Definitely excited to see how things are going to shape out in the story and all the interassociation politics and how that's going to all work out. Whether everyone's going to get dragged into this or what's going to end up happening. For the future, I would really like for the rest of the squad to come back because can't lie, I've been missing the rest of the gang, and I'd really like to see how they've progressed as this time has passed because I know they haven't just been sitting around doing nothing, and that's going to be really cool to see them come back and hopefully be on par or maybe even ahead of Jiwoo, because that would be interesting to see one of them having surpassed him now. But all in all, this was a very short one. Not a whole lot of thoughts and not really much more to drag out here. Um, this has been your boy, the Seven Otaku. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. So, not exactly the end of the video quite yet, because I actually remembered something else that I wanted to talk about that I'm also wondering what's going to come of it, which is what's going to happen when it's revealed that Jurian was the one who gave Duke the eclipse. Like, what the retribution for that is going to be. Is it going to be something that's going to affect the entire Patrick family, including his brother Ian? I mean, obviously it will, because something is going to probably happen to Jurian because of it, but I mean, like, is it going to be like something that affects their entire families? I don't know if it's a business or an association, but I know that his father, I think it is one of the top 10, and it's probably going to be a big deal when it comes out that it came from them. So I'm wondering how that's dealt with within the Awakened world. Like, is it like, is there like a court system? Are there like trials? Or is it just kind of the Wild West, which the story seems to have been pretty much, where they're just going to kind of rock up and then like everyone's just going to be fighting until one side is destroyed? Um, yeah, but I guess that kind of feeds into what I was talking about with all the interassociation politics and how that'll deal, whether we're going to be doing full inter association battles where people are invading and trying to really kill each other now, or there's some other way to deal with these disputes that you know doesn't require a whole lot of casualty. Yes, and I think that's all that I really had to think about, any of the extra thoughts that I had. If there's anything else, then I guess I'm just going to get you again right after this clip. But I'm pretty sure that this will now be the end of the video. So, this time for real, it's been your boy, the Token Otaku. Have a good day. Tell everyone you know you love them. See ya.